He has a channel called Woo Woo Man.
Mad?
Mad, sorry.
Woo Woo Mad.
Woo Woo Mad. And he filmed us breaking up the hill. So I asked you, cool looking. No problem. So what he's going to do is this will be your little spot here.
Lovely.
You can sit or stand, and this plate here moves around.
That's great.
I suspect you probably know all of this already.
Thank you.
What I'm doing now, I'm getting all the water out of the cylinder. So you don't want water in your steam cylinder. So I'm pushing the water out.
Okay.
I look over here, can I just see the action over here?
Okay.
And once all the water comes out, you just get steam.
Okay.
So all the water is out, so you're just seeing the steam now. Warming the cylinders up. Alright? This is our reverser. It puts the train in forward. Alright? It also puts the train in neutral or mid-gear. And it also puts the train in reverse. Alright? And we are ready to go. As soon as we get my command from the platform attendant and the guard, I'm ready to go. That's it. Everything's ready. Oh, okay.
So our locomotive is called the Jepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what gauge are we here?
We are running what's called 2'6".
2'6".
What they call the colonial gauge.
Colonial,
That was pretty much what they used throughout the British West Indies.
Yeah.
So this is a brand new railway. It has no connection to the original one.
Yeah, I know. 2'6".
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Welsh Pool and Land Fair Railway?
Yeah.
I'm just doing a video on that.
There's also Whitsunday too.
Yeah.
They run 2'6". So there are not many of them in the UK. But it is what we used to have here, so it's historically accurate.
Yeah. And the other one is the Zilterbahn. I've heard of the Zilterbahn in Austria.
Oh yes, sorry, yeah. I know they have some in Europe, but I'm not as familiar. They don't call it 2'6", they call it 750mm. 762. So that's what this is. It's 762mm.
Okay.
And this originally came from Java.
Java?
Yeah.
This Mallet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were two of them. Two of these are those young.
But where was it done up? Where was it repaired?
At Statfold Engineering in Staffordshire, Tamworth.
Okay. Good.
And rebuilt is the best word for it. It was a wreck. Real wreck.
Did you get a new boiler?
For the most of it, yes. The firebox, and we think dates from the 1930s or 40s.
Okay.
Yeah, so the firebox has some patina. But it's all safe. As you can tell by the rivet.
Oh yeah.
That's original.
Yeah. That's original.
Well, not to the locomotive, but
Yeah.
it's old enough.
Foundation ring, yeah.
When the cold up, I'm looking at the fire.
structural?
Yeah, correct. Well, look. These are some good things.
That was just telling you before we get that.
All right. Hardest part is done.
That's the hardest bit.
All right.
That's a massive cutting you've cut through there. That's a big cutting. Wow.
All right. You're going on the turntable with us.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's how you know. Don't get pregnant. That's the front of the train on the turntable. I'm back. All right. Okay. All right. We have to bring the water level quite a ways up, so we have to downhill run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a whole train in, a whole train. Wait. Let's go let it go around what they do. That was it, everything. Yeah. Okay, we're going forward. That's how you know.
So what's the, how's it propelled, this turntable?
Manually.
It's a manual one.
Heritage Railway. Even the points are all manually run.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if we ever expand the railway, one of the ideas would be to electrify the points.
Not
I mean, we're actually sitting on one bearing. Okay? And that's all. I think it's what the road All right. I think it's about a 30-ton bearing, and this is about 21 tons in total. So
that's spinning nice and easily.
Oh yeah, one works. You can push it with your finger.
Really? That's good.
And then this is the part now where people can come and volunteer to help to turn the train around.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Which is all a part of the fun of it. So that's how they used to do it. And I'll tell you a story once we've recoupled about how the old railway worked, and it might give you a laugh. Okay, guys. 1, 2, 3. All 21 tons got to be pushed. Making it look easy. Wonderful, that's perfect, perfect. We're lining up with the young lady on the track. Okay, watch your target over here, look. All right, we're just going to this track, that's it. Good job, perfect. Well done. Thank you so much.
Smell for YouTube.
Now he'll drop the rail stops and off we go.
This whole railway has been a fantastic concept, hasn't it? Absolutely.
And it happened very quickly.
Yes.
All right. And it all was built within almost a year, which is quite amazing if you consider all those walls have to be cut. Our deepest cutting is 30 feet. Then we'll push through this point and reverse back onto the train. That's the point. Now we'll couple up. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Train is in mid-gear, air brake on, drains open, handbrake on.
And brake on.
I've done my job. Right. Good morning, everyone. Morning. Welcome to St. Nicholas Abbey Heritage Railway. This locomotive has a name. Let me introduce her. She's called the Jepper. T-J-E-P-P-E-R. That's a Dutch name, but you don't pronounce the T. You just say Jepper. She was built in 1914 in Jungenthal, Germany. Barbados had a railway. It was a narrow gauge railway. In fact, it was 2 feet 6 inches, just like the one we're sitting on today. Unfortunately, that is the only connection between this railway and the original railway. The original railway terminated in the valley right behind us. It's called Belle Plaine. Now, for those of you who are unaware of where we are in Barbados right now, I'll show you on this map. We're standing right here at Cherry Tree Hill, at the border between the parish of St. Peter and St. Andrew, 758 feet above sea level. Now the highest point is 1,100 feet at Mount Hillaby, and that's just over that way. You can see it from here. So we're almost at the highest point on the island. Now this railway transformed the way we lived, the way we traveled, the way we did business. Before we had the railway, if you wanted to come here to Cherry Tree Hill, you would have had to walk for 3 days in the hot sun or in the pouring rain. How many of you would undertake that journey for the magnificent view? Not a soul. Well, when the railway opened in 1881, it transformed that journey into 1 hour and 40 minutes. That was miraculous, especially in the Victorian era. Now, at first people were frightened of the steam engines. They thought they were the work of the devil. They thought that women would lose their children, trees would lose their leaves, cows would stop producing milk, and rivers would run dry and all of that nonsense. However, they soon realized that, it was just a lot of nonsense. People instantly took to the railways. Now, the railway was, as I said, not built for hauling people, it was built to haul sugar. That was who the factories actually paid for the railway. In fact, many of the train stations along the way were sugar factories. Buckley, Windsor, Carrington, Sunbury, Bushy Park, and Three Houses, to name a few. Most of those factories were in this stretch of the railway. Now, the reason they chose the East Coast to run the rest of the line is really an economic reason. It was cheap to build the railway right along the coast. Nobody owned the land, and that's what they did. Now, this would eventually prove to be the downfall of the railway, but it also proved to be its biggest asset. You see, many hotels were built along the East Coast, that coastline just behind me. Some of the hotels you may recognize today: the Atlantis Inn, the Edgewater Inn, the Beachmount Hotel, the Roundhouse Restaurant and Inn, the Crane Beach Hotel, and even Sam Lord's Castle. They were all accessible by the railway. So people came from far away to come to Barbados to ride this little train. They called it a toy train back then because they were a little smaller than standard gauge. And they would ride the railway up to the East Coast. The East Coast is where you wanted to stay back then. The West Coast was considered a mosquito-ridden swamp. You'd catch malaria, yellow fever, get very sick, and even likely die. So that's not something you want to do on your holiday, so people came to the beautiful East Coast with this lovely, refreshing breeze. We continue our journey north uphill now, 200, 300, and finally about 350 feet above sea level at Three Houses train station. You'd get a very beautiful view out over the Atlantic Ocean. Now, for many of these passengers, this is their first time seeing the east coast of Barbados. You can imagine how much anticipation and excitement there would be on the train, and it's only going to get better. We head north towards Concept Point, and the train turns west into the picturesque parish of St. John. Now the view is suddenly cut short. We now have to get from about 300 or 400 feet above sea level back down to the coast. It took 4 years to build. It consisted of the steepest gradient that had ever been built on any railway. Let me introduce you to the dreaded concept cutting. The train would descend down into the cut rock, 80 feet deep, sailing down this long, steep hill. And finally we arrive in the village of Bath. Bath, Barbados, not England. From there, I don't need to describe the train journey to you any further. Ladies and gentlemen, that magnificent coastline that you all were just admiring, or trying to admire, was once hugged by probably one of the most spectacular narrow gauge railways you could ever hope to ride on. The train would then continue north, hugging the coastline for another 12 miles, until finally we arrive at Belle Plaine, right over there. They'd spin the locomotive around on a turntable, just as we demonstrated, put the locomotive on the front of the train, And that's how you turn a train around. Simple as that. Now modern trains don't have to do this, of course. The driver just gets out and walks to the other side. Anyhow, this is where things get fun. On the return journey, we retrace our route down the coast and we arrive back in Bath. We now have to climb up the steepest railway ever built. I want you to imagine 5 coaches full of people, 27 tons of locomotive, so give or take 70 tons of train. You hear the engines hammering away as they struggle up the steep gradient. It was 1 in 30 if you want to know. Eventually they bought another locomotive which would come and push the trains up the concept cutting. And we still do that on railways today. It's called banking. The Great Western Railway introduced the locomotives, the railway, the managers, and even the drivers to Barbados. So there you have it. That's a little history of the railway. My time is up. I'm going to turn you back over to our guard Cindy, and we'll continue the little tour. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All aboard?
All aboard!
I'm ready for the signal. They're going to give me a green flag and a whistle. Right to it. And where we leave.
All right.
You want to get my phone over and get home? Shut it off. Not turn it off, it's 21 seconds.
So basically we're just coasting downhill here. So there won't be much steam action. one's coming up, you know. Last time.
I was actually listening. I had kind of bad. But I had a lot last week though. I had a lot earlier during the week.
How many guys you got?
3.
So you got 3 permanent wait staff.
Yes. Well, 3 permanent. If we're doing something else, then we can bring in. Point some 6 set.
Yeah. You cloud the one behind.
That's our diesel. Called a Badger.
You can see this is our shed. This is where we keep the Jekyll R2 Badgers and the Simplex. We also have our flat cart and gravel cart in here. What you're seeing here right now with the tarp covering it, that's what we were going to use to actually to rust-proof the track itself, right? But we didn't bother to rust-proof the track. We actually did it by hand because we were having a little issues with that. Just so you know what that is. This is our number 50 Badger right here. Right? This was actually painted and restored by Statfold Engineering also. We are awaiting some air cylinder parts for it right now. So that's what you see here so far forward in the actual shed itself. This was brought in as a backup for number 49. Number 49 was actually here, and number 49 is what helped to build the track itself, right? Which is the one further down. So as you can see, inside of the Badgers are kept very nicely. Right, you will see the nut to be moved board on it. That's basically because, like I said, we're waiting some parts for the actual air cylinders that control the brake. But we do try to keep them clean and give it a little wash once in a while. Make sure she's oiled up. You know, we don't want her to catch any rust. As you can see, we do have our gravel cart here. This is wheels to put down the gravel for the entire track. Right, this was restored to a point. Obviously, you can see some pitting and whatnot from it. There's an original gravel cart. It wasn't built for us. It was just bought.
Do you know where it came from?
I'm not too sure where it came from, but Statfold Bar would have supplied it. Right, I'm not sure where it worked before, but like I said, Statfold Bar would have supplied it. This is our flat cart. This also helped build the track. This has on 2 bogies that can be found also on the carriages. Right. As you can see, they're the exact same. The only difference is that they don't have the ear connected to them. However, It does have a mechanical handbrake, which we apply when we need to apply it. And these are also spares that we would use if needed. And this is what we have. This is what we call the Simplex, a lovely 3-cylinder air-cooled diesel engine. Also helped with the building of the track. This used to work at Severn Trent Waterworks, right?
Severn Trent?
Yep, Severn Trent. The name is right here. Let me make sure I get the name right. That's right. Severn Trent Water. Right? Air-cooled Deutsch engine. You can see it right here if you want to take a look. Big old flywheel.
Oh yeah. That's a beastie.
Yeah, man. I know this is my favorite diesel of all. Badger number 49. Come this way if you want.
Oh yeah, come through. Yeah.
Badger number 49.
Oh, beautiful.
Has on all the original badges. Has on a lovely chrome muffler. With some very nice detailing on it. If you get a close look, I don't know if you can see it. You can see some care actually went into this. You can see the birds on it and everything. Right? If you come to the front, you can see the hospital badge on it and everything.
Oh, hospital badger. There we go. Yeah.
Right, so the engine that we have in here. Right, we have a Gardner. It's a Gardner. Is a 6LB? I think it's a 6LB. Let me see if I can. Yep, a 6LXB. Gardner 6-cylinder. Starts up all the time. We don't get any issues with it. And she purrs like a dream. You want to hear it?
Yeah, carry on. Yeah, we'll start him up if you can.
Just shut back here for you.
Wow. There you go.
That's on. Go and make sure the clutch is out. Make sure that's in the correct position. Air brake on. This is on. Alright.
Oh, that's nice and smooth.
Yeah, man. So like I said, this actually helped build the track. And this was here from day one. And we try to keep her as good as possible. That's why you see all these rags in here. We're constantly rubbing it down to make sure she doesn't get any grease on her on the inside and everything.
But she's absolutely spotless.
Yeah.
Spotless and polished.
Yeah,
God, that's a
little
real...
bit of watermarks on it because she was in the rain a little bit. But as you can see, we do try to maintain the trains as best as we can.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you will get a few dings and dents there, but we try to rectify everything as best as possible.
But what a unit here. We've got a magnificent running shed. My gosh, isn't that lovely?
And the good thing about the shed is when you stand out here, you can actually watch the train go out. You know? They're using the leaf here right now. And you get a good view of the actual shed right now. And you see some zebra pass here. There she goes. Something you wouldn't expect to see in the Caribbean. So that's pretty much it, Dan.
Well, thank you very much indeed.
No problem, no problem.
What a treat.
I hope you enjoyed everything.
Thank you very much.
No problem.